guys, Sarah here. So today I wanted to do a video on how to start a Lego city in 2021. And you might be saying to yourself a couple of things right now, like, Sarah, it's like 6 months into 2021. It's almost 2022 at this point. And you might be thinking, but you already have a city, Sarah. So what is the point? But what I wanted to do is share with you some interesting tips and tricks and thoughts that I have on starting a Lego city, especially if you're starting it from the beginning, or if you're thinking about reevaluating where your city is at right now, which, as many of you know, is what I am doing currently. So guys, if this is for you, make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe, because we have so much coming on this channel in the near future. So I will see you on the other side. All right, friends, before we head over to the city, and I actually have something very special set up for you, I want to cover a few things I want to talk about right here with you, because it needs to be a real conversation. So I don't know if you have seen my last two city updates. I think they're absolutely worth watching if you want to, just kind of see where I am with city building and what my thoughts are over the last 6 months of city building. I will link them in the description below, because I really think it's going to be some handy information for you. So I actually have my notebook here. I've been taking notes, okay? I like to be prepared. But what I wanted to talk with you about, and first and foremost, when you're considering starting a Lego city in 2021, and probably in any year, is what do you want your city to actually look like? What do you consider to be a Lego city? You need to get clear on that, and you need to figure out what it is you want to go forward building. Your city doesn't have to look like any city out there. It doesn't have to include all of those city buildings. It doesn't have to be laid out like the other cities that you see, and there are tons of cities out there to look through. Yes, a lot of them do look fairly similar, and that is another concept to think about as well. Do you want your city to be highly detailed? Do you want it to be customized? Do you want it to be X, Y, or Z? There are so many questions, but you need to get clear on what that is. Maybe you have a theme in your head that you would love the city to look like. Maybe it's like a steampunk city. Maybe it is like a Ninjago city build style type city. But then you say to yourself, oh, but that's not a city. The city has to have X, Y, and Z because this person has X, Y, and Z. And guess what, guys? After 6 months of city building, I realized that does not interest me very much at all. And I want you to get clear on where you're going with your city. What's going to make you happy? What's going to make you smile every time you see the city, instead of feeling overwhelmed or bummed out because it doesn't look like this person's or that person's. So start there, okay? That is my number one thing that you need to start doing for your Lego city, whether you are a new Lego city builder or a medium time Lego city builder, or even an advanced city builder. I mean, maybe you've just been building a city for so long the same way and you're kind of like, I love Lego city building, but this isn't doing it for me anymore, because we can change. We're allowed to change over time. So that's what I want to start with first, because I think that is something for everyone. And then the second thing that I wanted to talk about, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we head that way, but space. Space is a factor for everyone. Even if you have a lot of it, you can manage to fill it really fast. And when you're thinking about building a Lego city, I want you to think about the space that you have available to you and how you can best work that space so as to not maybe overfill it and kind of sort of push yourself out of it. Do you want your Lego City to take up the entire room, that you don't even have a room for a project table or a room for a sorting table, and you're kind of just like stuck in this little section of your desk. No, I want space. I want to be able to have a mock over here, maybe sorting over there. So I'm going to build my city around the space that I have, instead of trying to make a lot of tables fit into a small space just because I think I need a lot of tables in my city. Guess what? You don't, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But what I found when I took my big open space and started to fill it with more and more tables and more Lego, that it became overwhelming. It became a visual clutter. And I know you're like, Lego, but I love Lego. How could it be a visual clutter? Well, you also might want to ask the other family members in your house too what they think, because we actually took over the first floor of our house with Lego, and I don't think everyone was in agreement. And even though I love Lego so much, that it's just kind of grating to see all of that Lego everywhere, every minute, to not be able to sort of move away from it unless I go to sleep. So you do need to think about how Lego affects the space in your living areas, kind of thing. So guys, let's actually go over to the city. I have something really special set up to show you. All right, my friends, so when we were just talking about space, I want to show you how the first floor of our house has sort of gotten taken over by Lego. And you can see that pretty much every space has something to do with Lego. You can see I was just talking to you over here. I'm actually sharing the table with my laptop, my hairbrush. There are things on the divider. You can see Boone's Castle on the table over there. Luckily, there is not any Lego over on the kitchen counter. We have the Lego City that where most of my modulars have been moved to the back. We've got our August 1st haul on the floor, and we have sort of our mock and building space over there with all of our pieces. And guys, this to me is way too overwhelming. I have too much stuff up here. And yes, we are still proceeding with the new project. You can actually see that a dumpster was delivered, which actually means the project will be starting. But until then, I'm still sort of making do up here, and I've really come to the conclusion that I need to have my Lego space and my living space somewhat separate than this. So that is actually one of the reasons we took down all of the city tables, and at the time made a smaller city. Definitely check that video out. I think you'll really enjoy it. But again, just to touch on space, make sure that the Lego doesn't take over your space, and that you feel comfortable with the space you're in. The third, number 3, that I wanted to talk about is actually table size. This is a tough one, because many Lego city builders have relied on the Linman tabletops and legs as the base of the city because it is so financially doable. However, IKEA has since changed the table sizes so that they no longer correspond very well to the size of the base plates. Now, I'm sure IKEA was not thinking of us when they changed the sizes, nor had they partnered with Lego to make the sizes in the first place. However, this is actually my favorite size, and the length doesn't really have too much to do with it so much as the width. I love a 30-inch or 3 base plate wide table this way. This is also about 6 base plates long and 18 base plates total if you're just working with the 32 by 32 sizes. Obviously, Assembly Square throws that off a little bit. However, this particular table is no longer available, and it was replaced by some smaller, slightly odder sizes that I did originally purchase 6 of, and my son has in his room now. But IKEA still does have tabletops that are slightly more expensive, that are the at least 30-inch width size, and I highly recommend going with one. And I also recommend, when it comes to tables, maybe not just buying 10 because you can. Maybe 2 is a great place to start and will allow you to achieve the level of detail you're looking to achieve with your city in a more doable, less overwhelming sort of way. Because as we all know, details get expensive, they are time consuming, And sometimes if you don't feel like you're making any progress on your Lego city, it can also feel just kind of defeating. So that is tip number 3, is to check out your table sizes really well and see what you want to achieve with your city. This would allow me, this particular table allows nicely to have, you could do a couple things. You could have a road running up the middle and modulars on either side, or you could have modulars back to back and one road, and then maybe just pretend there's a road on the other side. So there's a few options there, but I do like the road running up the middle sort. I did not show you that today only because these particular modulars have been chosen for a reason. So you probably guessed it, but the reason why that they are up here in just these and not say the pet shop or the Parisian restaurant is that these modulars are available on the shelves right now in 2021. This is August 2021. These are your available modulars, and you can see that already they form a lovely street. Do you need a Lego city, a full Lego city to get started? No, you just need a street. Well, actually, you just need one modular and maybe a road, and then you can start right from there. So the garage, the police station, the Daily Bugle, the Assembly Square, the Bookshop, and even the Spring Lantern Festival, which was designed in a modular fashion, are a perfect way to start a city if you're looking to start a city in 2021. Now, the garage is one you're going to want to pick up first if you don't already have it, because it is going to be on its way out. Assembly Square is a must-have. It is just a fantastic addition to a smaller city. The police station and Daily Bugle are both new this year, so I wouldn't worry about those. And then the Bookshop, you're probably going to want to grab that at some point as well. The Spring Lantern Festival, if that's up your alley, your cup of tea, you'll want to grab that, because generally they do not keep these around after the year because they are specific to the year of the animal. And this year's was the year of the ox, which would not make sense next Chinese New Year, right? So these are the available modulars. Aren't they fantastic? And look how brilliantly they make a city all on its own, without having to get super spread out onto tons and tons of tables. So I just wanted to show you this quick layout, since my city basically lives in the background now up by the Vestas wind turbine there. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of how you can simply start a city without having to worry about going back and getting all of the retired modulars. As you know, in January of 2022, a new modular will be coming out. Most of the speculation is that it will be a corner building, so that's a great way to finish off a single street if that's all you want to achieve with your Lego city, which is fantastic. So don't be afraid to just have a Lego street and still call it a Lego city, because there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Now, what's even more exciting is that many of the modulars that you see in front of you also have alternative builds available on rebrickable.com. Now, these are not official Lego designed alternative builds. These are fan designed, but they make for excellent additions to a Lego city, especially if you don't want to go back and try to get retired modulars but still want to fill out your city. I'm going to save that for another video, because I have alternative models to show for just about each one of these here, and actually I want to do a couple more and share them with you as great alternatives to, instead of going back and paying very high prices for retired modulars, just move forward and grab an extra set of the police station or Assembly Square and turn it into something fantastic you can add to your city. But it's not a must, it's not a have to, it's just another idea for that set, so that you don't have to worry about having tons of your own pieces. An alternative build for one of these literally takes the set and only the pieces in the set and turns it into a completely different modular. So it is a fantastic way to add more modulars. I will link a video in the description below of a couple of the ones that I have done, just so you can get an idea of what you're going to be seeing. All right, my friends, in this video, we have started by clarifying what kind of city we are going for. We've taken a look at the space that is around us and how to best use it. We've talked about great table size. We've also looked at the year's current modulars available on the shelves right now. You can even find some of these in Target, on Amazon, and they are not retired, so you can get them at the retail price. The last thing that I want to talk about is just very simply are the roads. And this is a bit of a change for Lego City builders in 2021 because the old road plates that people may have used in their cities are not available. Yes, you can still get them. You can even probably pay regular price at the moment, but they will be retiring if they're not already retired, and the prices will be going up. So I switched to the brand new Lego City road plates that are available. They are generally on sale, and you can actually get 2 road plates worth in a box, which actually makes it a really good deal. What you see here actually are Mills plates, and that is how I build my city. However, you do not have to do that as well. Let me grab a road plate without my Mills plate just to give you an idea. Okay, so here are the pieces of the road plate kit. You will actually receive 2 of these so that you can make a full road base plate. And then you can do whatever you like otherwise with them. If you don't use Mills plates in your system, you will have your modular on just a regular base plate. You do need to prop your modular up if you do not want your road to be slightly higher. If you're not too worried about the height difference, that is not, it's not a huge deal. It is your Lego City. Do with it what you like. I do have a video on just some simple solutions to propping up your existing base plate modular. But again, I turn them into Mills plates because that is what I do here. And I have tons and tons of videos on that to get you started with. I'll again put one of those in the description for you. But sort of deciding on where you want to go with roads is helpful. Also deciding if you're interested in the Mills plate system might be helpful as well. If you're looking at just starting off with a smaller city and utilizing the modulars that are available right now, the Mills plate system might be something that you really want to try out. They are a fantastic way to carry around a modular. I don't know if you can see this very well, but I am walking around with the corner garage with one hand. I picked it up with one hand. I even did a little shimmy with one hand, and I can go put it back down. And that is a great way. It really helps with city planning. It helps with moving, and everything just feels much more secure. You do not need to connect the buildings to one another with tiles to keep the base plates from sort of flexing up. The only one I do still hold with 2 hands is the Daily Bugle, but at the same time, I do not have to take the sections off to carry it because the Mills plate is so strong. So guys, that is it for this video. I just wanted to bring over these city buildings to show you what a fun little city street could look like in your Lego City in August 2021. So guys, if you have comments, if you have questions, feel free to leave them below. Happy building, and we'll see you in the next video.